A lot of things are going on in the world of American soccer. So let's talk about it.
Would you be my Mr. Dun? I still got a lot of shit to learn.
Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Drew here, back with yet another video for all you American soccer fans out there. And in this video we're going to be talking about 3 different stories in the world of American soccer that I think on their own wouldn't be a long enough or more detailed enough video on their own. So I was like, you know what, let me just combine them together and we'll go from there, right? Yeah, we'll work it out. But before we start, as always, if you guys love soccer in America and you want to see soccer get the respect and popularity and credits it deserves in this country, then hit the subscribe button and be part of the change. So without further ado, guys, let's get into the video. Starting off with, of course, what else would we want to start off besides FC Cincinnati getting into the MLS? Finally, this is like a big shock to me. Just kidding. I mean, who the hell didn't think they were going to get into the MLS? There was no reason why they wouldn't. They've got the fan base. Love those fans. They've got the fan base. They've got the stadium. They've got the players. They've got everything. The whole like aura or the whole culture of it just screams MLS, and they belong in the MLS. They belong in the top flight. So they're going to finish out the 2018 season in the USL, and then when the 2019 season for the MLS starts, that's when Cincinnati will be taking their first MLS steps into the world. So congrats for them. And how crazy would it be, by the way, if the 2019 season of MLS opens with Columbus Crew versus FC Cincinnati? Hell is real is what that rivalry is called. How badass would it be? You know, that being if Columbus Crew stays in Ohio by then, which, guys, save the crew. Especially you Cincinnati fans out there. You guys should be also, I know that you're like rivals, but how cool would it be if you guys could have that rivalry day, like every season, like day in, day out? Like how cool would that be? Like I wouldn't want, if I had another Philly team here and for my Philadelphia Union boys, I would want another Philly team or at least a nearby team that we can compete in the MLS with like every season. That'd be great. Because if the Columbus Crew moves to Austin, then you guys don't really have like a real rivalry. You guys can go like to another state, have another rivalry with a closer state team, but that's not the same as having an in-state rivalry. So make sure you guys back to Save the Crew because it means something to you, both of those fans. So I'm not going to get too into depth with the Cincinnati story because I did make a video about Cincinnati already, giving my thoughts on the whole club itself and the fans and them going to MLS in general. In a video I'll leave down in the description box for you guys. You guys can go check that out. But basically, in a nutshell, I do support Cincinnati going to the MLS. I'm not a Cincinnati supporter per se, but I do support and am a fan of what they're accomplishing, what the whole team has accomplished so far. You know, that big U.S. Open Cup run they had when everyone doubted them, the new stadium they're going to get, being top of the league already in the USL this current season. So I'm really excited to see what the 2019 season for the MLS has in store for Cincinnati. And I know the fans are going to turn up and probably sell out every game because, I mean, why not? They've got passionate fans, and we need more of those fans and those kind of clubs, those kind of supported clubs in the MLS. So the second story I'm going to cover with you guys today is the U.S. men's national team winning 3-0 against Bolivia the other night, and with a relatively young side. I think the average age for the whole team itself, the whole roster, not just the lineup, the whole roster that was called up was just, I think, 22 years old. That's so young. That's younger than me. Like all these are all kids now. Like I'm old. No, for real though, we had so many great youngsters here, so many youngsters with great potential. We had Weston McKennie, obviously Christian Pulisic, who didn't really have the best game of his life. He wasn't like, didn't really have like a standout performance compared to the other youngsters around on the field. And by those youngsters, I mean Timothy Weah and Josh Sargent. I was really excited to see these guys in action because I haven't seen like a live game for them in the U.S. men's national team at all. Well, because mostly they haven't really been called up. I think Timothy Weah was called up once before for the senior team, but I don't know if he played. If he did, it was not for that long. But anyway, both of them scored their first goals. Josh Sargent was his first appearance for the U.S. men's national team senior team, and he scored his first goal on his debut. How crazy is that? How good is that? Timothy Weah also scoring his first goal, and so did Walker Zimmerman. He was, I think it was his third cap for the USA, and he opened the scoring from a corner kick. I was like really surprised. I'm not surprised. I was really like happy to see how great we were playing. Granted, it wasn't like the best Bolivian side, and Bolivia isn't really the strongest South American team we could go up against. But still, like these are all young players who haven't really been playing with each other too long. They're just being mixed in there. Everything's being rotated and tested out by the stand-in manager Saracen. So I was really glad to see how it all worked out. Some players that really impressed me besides, Timothy Weah and Josh Sargent. Walker Zimmerman, I think, is a really good defender. He isn't one who seems to to go up as much. I always saw him not pressing forward, only for corner kicks, obviously, set pieces. But for the most part, he stayed back and really was a pretty good defender. Anthony Robinson on the left back was pretty good. I think he wasn't getting too much attention, but I think the way he was covering his man, the way he was just on the ball, he just seemed really good. Really like to see more from him in the future. Some more limelight on him. Some substitutes that impressed me. Lyndon Gooch, he kind of seemed like he really was hungry for a goal. There were some towards the end of the game, he had chances to pass it to other players for a great opportunity to get a good assist and have that player score, but he seems to take it upon himself. So he seems slightly selfish, but sometimes you need that. Sometimes we need players like that to just take it upon themselves and score, especially if they're good enough. But is Gooch good enough? We're just going to have to wait and find out. He definitely has the potential to be. He's got the pace. He's got the technical ability. I don't want to get too carried away with the whole hype that's been put on this whole 3-0 win against Bolivia. Like I said, Bolivia isn't the strongest South American side that we could face. I think maybe they're one of, if not the weakest South American side, with all due respect to them. But still, it was a great performance by all these kids performing out there. They really gave. They looked hungry. But that was the best thing that I like to see. They all looked hungry. They all wanted to win. They wanted to prove a point. You can see that in the way they're playing. They're yeah, I want to be in the 2022 World Cup. I want to be called up for that roster. It's because it starts now. We have so much time to plan. So we've got all these players to go through to see who we can keep, who we're going to kick out, which center back duo works, which is the best goalkeeper to have. Which, by the way, we have so many goalkeepers to choose from now. Before we only had Tim Howard and Brad Guzan and Nick Raimondo, which I didn't really fancy any of them for the most part. Tim Howard, obviously, but towards the end, I was all right, he's got to be replaced. We got to find someone else. But we got Bill Hamid, we got Alex Bono, who was starting that night, who got a clean sheet on his first appearance, which was great for him. We have Zach Steffen, who I really think could be the number one in the future, especially with that record he broke in Columbus Crew the other night, with not conceding a goal for a certain amount of minutes. I think over 600 minutes, which is a new club record. So congrats to you, Zach Steffen. And we also have Ethan Horvath, who wasn't playing, but he also is another keeper that we are getting in the mix. And I think Jurgen Klinsmann's son, Jonathan Klinsmann, I want to say, I don't know, I forget his first name, but yeah, another Klinsmann. He's a goalkeeper. I was damn, we've got so many good goalkeepers coming up. It's going to be crazy by the 2022 World Cup comes around and see who can keep that potential going, who can keep that form going. Yeah, guys, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on the whole game. Let me know if anyone, let me know who impressed you in that game, who didn't impress you, who you think we could sub out and replace with someone else, another youngster. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear them, as always. So the last story I'd love to talk to you guys about is the new general manager position that the U.S. men's national team is going to be appointing soon. And they're going to be appointed to Philadelphia Union's sporting director, Ernie Stewart. Now, the general manager position is not the same as the coach, so it's not going to be the guy on the field telling the team what to do, setting up the team, to go play that day. He's going to be overseeing whoever that coach is. So he's going to be in control of that. He's basically going to be in control of the whole U.S. men's national team as a whole. Just the U.S. men's national team, not the youth system, not the women's national team, not MLS, just the national team for the men's. He's going to be overseeing the coach, whoever they decide to hire, which I'm freaking waiting for him to hire somebody already. Let's kill him. How do we not have anyone? I mean, I guess there's no point to hire anyone yet because there's no meaningful games coming up, but we've got one. We've got some meaningful games coming up with the Gold Cup next year and the Copa America potentially if we get accepted into that. But anyway, so this general manager position, he's going to oversee the coach. He's going to oversee the whole national team as a whole. He's going to be responsible for bringing new players in, overseeing the whole player pool, integrating new players into the system. What else is there? Let's see. Let me check my handy dandy iPhone. This is a screenshot took from Fox Sports. Thanks, Fox Sports, for always helping out. Drive culture of the team's day-to-day environment. Monitoring of player pool, integration of new players. Yeah, I said that. Increase and formalize oversight and accountability. So he's basically going to hold this dude's, whoever is the coach, he's going to hold this guy accountable for every loss, every setback we take, every trophy we're not winning. He's going to be, the guy, well, I guess the general manager and the coach will both be held accountable, but he's going to be directly involved with this. So hopefully, whoever this coach ends up being has a good relationship with Ernie Stewart, so then they can both together work on the whole national team together, not separately, not with bitterness, not bickering, really trying to come together and make the U.S. men's national team a better national team going forward. And we definitely have the potential, especially with all the players we've have coming up with Josh Sargent, Christian Pulisic, Timothy Weah, basically everyone that was called up for this camp against Bolivia. Yeah, man. I mean, that's it, guys. That's all the stories for today. Very odd video for me, I know, but I wanted to try something different. I really like having a couple stories to talk about, and instead of just trying to strain the life out of one single story for just one video. Well, I like, talking a little bit about this thing and a little bit about that thing. Yeah. So let me know if you guys like this new style of video I'm making. If not, I'll just go back to making, one topic per video, or maybe two. Depends how it goes. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the whole general manager position. Let me know if you guys think it's a good pick. I don't really know too much about this Ernie Stewart guy. I know he was a former U.S. men's national team player, so he knows how to, get these players going. He knows like the in and outs of playing because he was a player. Even though he was a Philadelphia Union sporting director, I don't know much about him. So let me know your thoughts on that guy. Let me know your thoughts on the whole 3-0 win against Bolivia, and let me know your thoughts on Cincinnati. Of course, you Cincinnati fans, I know you're out there, so I'd love to hear from you guys down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys, next time.